Hey, thanks, Kulin. Thanks, Yogesh, for taking out the time. Amazing to have you guys over here in our Nexus conversation. Uh, it's a little unusual to be in this formal setup and discussing how things have been on surety and how things have been, how this journey has been for you till now. Uh, why don't we start with a little bit of an introduction, Colleen and Yogesh? I know that one of the most important or critical part of any startup and startup journey is the entrepreneur. So I think people will really love to understand what has been your journey. Especially, why don't we start with Yogesh, you, as we know you are world's youngest actuary and now building something in the insurance space. If you can just take us through a little bit about your background, how what has been your journey and how it all started in non-surety, and then we will come to the point.
Yeah, thanks, Anand, for this. So, effectively, in order to tell you more about me, how I started on Surety, to give you more about my background. So, basically, I'm a qualified actuary and a chartered accountant, and I started my career with KPMG as an actual consultant, where being an actual consultant to a couple of general insurance companies in India and in the US, and where my primary role was doing actuarial valuation as well as pricing and designing insurance products for different insurance and reinsurance companies in India and outside India. And after that, KPMG, I worked as chief risk officer and chief actuary in a couple of general insurance companies in India, and also worked as appointed actuary in one of the insurance company, where being an appointed actuary, I was on a dotted line basis reporting to the regulator and was responsible for the overall actuarial function and the financial well-being function of the and the risk management function of the company. So that was my role, and then I started my own consulting firm somewhere around 2017, which was a kind of a SME setup where around almost like 10 to 11 individuals was working under in my consulting firm. So in 2017, when I was and during the same time, I was actually consulting different insurance companies in India, and one of the insurance company was also in the InsurTech, the India's first InsurTech, in which we have basically my role was to design insurance products, help them to underwrite those insurance products, and then also I help them in reinsurance, in developing different reinsurance strategy. So that was my background before starting on Surety. And while working for my own consulting firm, I realized that employee giving employee benefit is becoming very imperative in order to attract the right talent. But unfortunately, fortunately, there is basically no insurance company nor any employee benefit company which is specifically focusing towards the SMB setups or the small businesses setups, where because most of these companies actually require minimum team size of almost 50 to 55 minimum. That is on the minimum side, and even up to like 500 employees, there is no relevant schemes or no relevant benefit schemes that are easily available to small startups or SMB kind of a businesses. So, and this was my learning during my consulting days, because I wanted to give a good employee benefit package to my employees, but was not being able to get the or source the right plan. And this really helped me to think about onshority, wherein how we can actually create a kind of a platform where the SMBs can come around and get the right employee benefit plans for their employees, and at the reasonable means at a reasonable cost, and which actually covers almost most of the important and kind of a mandatory, not mandatory, but yeah, kind of an important benefit package that is necessary for their employees. So with that started onshority. Then I guess somewhere around conceptualizing onshority somewhere around November 2019, December 2019. Then I met you, and you were being helpful to get to give or write a check of for a seed round. And then pulling somewhere around February, March, this is where at that time when you guys have written the check. And then Pulin joined me as a co-founder in March 2020. And since then, we are on means trying to build Onsurity now. So basically, since our launch in May 2020, basically until now, we are almost more than like 1100 plus SMBs now on our platform. And effectively, most of these companies are on an average or on a median side, what I would say, that is of 10 employee company. So we are very proud to say that, yes, the kind of the thought process that from where we started Onsurity, we are right now being able to do a perfect product market fit. And effectively getting this 1100 companies, I think the team at Onsurity had really worked very hard in order to develop, to build a company which is completely product centric and customer centric. Couple of very unique features that we have brought into the market through Onsurity, which is like a monthly payments, which makes the complete or which become like a game changer for the SMB, because as soon as we make it as a monthly benefit subscription model, it becomes quite affordable for the SMB to sponsor for their employee thing. And apart from that, at Onsurity, we really focus a lot on the consumer experience, because what we understand that the kind of the sector what we are working it around, it's very important to build the trust of the consumers or of the businesses. And that's why we are focusing a lot on our complete claims experience or hospitalization experience for the businesses, so that the employees who may not be well aware about the what is an employee benefit, what is a health insurance, so they will be able to claim from that particular product very easily. So that is in a nutshell, I just given a very high level.
And congratulations on that, Yogesh, and congratulations on touching 100,000 lives recently. I think that's probably the fastest, me being from the insurance industry as well. I think I've not seen probably the top 5 fastest growing products in insurance, health insurance at least. So congratulations on that. And on that line, let me move to Kulin. And Kulin, your journey has been quite a, I would say that exactly the opposite of my journey, where I moved from operations to VC, and now your journey has been from moving from VC to being one of the most successful BD persons in the industry. How has it been, and maybe to just join to connect that to also like what has been the experience in like onboarding really small businesses in Onsurity, and how that experience has been to taking it to more than 100,000 customers in the span of what 1.5 years now.
Yeah, 1.5 years. Yeah. First of all, Anand, thanks for having Yogesh and me over out here. And by the way, this is the first time that we've announced our 1,000+ customers. So yes, you have got an exclusive from Onsurity.
Yeah.
So we've had a very different journeys. Almost polar, right? I started off as a VC and VC professional. This is back in 2008, when I think VCs and what VCs did and what startups did was not a mainstream job or not a mainstream activity. Did that for almost 3.5 years, and worked on multiple on multiple sectors. We were almost sector agnostic, and did consumer tech, high tech, education, both in India and in the US. And I think at that point of time, interacting with so many founders, right, and seeing them hustle, seeing them scale, seeing them evolve businesses from right from 5 team members to building 100+ kind of companies, right, was something that was very inspirational to me. And I think that was a turning point. And I said, listen, I think 2 things. One, I don't want to go back to, hopefully I don't have to go back to a corporate world. And 2, that I want to spend the rest of the time in the startup space. And I think that's how the starting of my startup journey started. Then build a B2C consumer product, and ran that for almost 3 years, where we were trying to kind of aggregate purchase demand and allow people to kind of and aggregate this demand and see how we can kind of bring economies of scale for people who wanted to make purchases. Ran that for almost 3 years. Learned some very interesting lessons, both on the product side, on the consumer side, and then took the hard decision, and we went and we were then acquired Freecharge. We knew Kunal and Alok fairly well, and at Freecharge I was then started working on growth partnerships, which was a fairly new charter. No one had really kind of dipped into it. Did that, and then post the Snapdeal acquisition, was given the mandate to build a team and launch the Freecharge wallet for the digital ecosystem in India. Freecharge and the kind of approach that we took, we were able to kind of bring on board close to about 100,000 merchants in less than 12 months of launch. And at peak, I think we were driving close to about 200,000 transactions on a daily basis. So built fairly scalable solutions, both on the product side, on the engineering side, and obviously on the distribution side. We approached the market very differently, and then took a sabbatical for almost 7 to 8 months, and then came back to India and started working for a startup insurance company. Background, but I think it's about and solving the right problem, and I think that's what Yogesh and I did, where we were able to kind of build products and embed them in places, and that was a very interesting journey. Both Yogesh and I worked on these products, in short about 40 million users, and built a book of more than 100 crores in GWP. And here we are building on Surety. Completely opposite, not for any enterprise segment, but building for the real India. And it's been an interesting journey. I think, right from getting teams of 3 and 5 to possibly getting teams where there are more than 2,000 people, or getting networks or platforms which have more than a large supply side who want to kind of get healthcare benefits, right? It has been a fairly interesting journey, and I think one of the thought process that has helped us is to kind of always stick to one specific thing, that is, how do you solve for consumer experience, right? Then size does not matter. It does not matter how you're doing it. Of course, the focus continues to remain to build for SMEs, a segment which has never got a product like this, has never, as in while in healthcare in India means health insurance, but we are truly trying to become a good healthcare value proposition, where we have given products which are give properly instant gratification in terms of, say, teleconsultations, medicine orders, lab tests. At the same time, we also have bundled insurance in it, which basically helps us to kind of drive a large value proposition. And like Yogesh mentioned, affordability and giving access, right, is key aim for us in the initial few years of on Surety. And I think there's been a huge underlying demand, and we've spoken about this many times, that there's a huge underlying demand, just that the right technology, the right team, and the right product needs to be out there who can solve this. And I think with our combined experience and the kind of team that we have built, I think we are there to kind of make a difference and create an impact.
Absolutely, and cannot agree more. But to that, I'll just put a pointed question to you, Kulin, right? During this customer acquisition, was there one point in which you realized that there is a product market fit now? And how do young entrepreneurs think about it from you when you look back in your journey? How do you recognize that there has been a product market fit, or some customer is saying, aha, this is what we wanted always?
I think we saw, and we've been fortunate to see a early product market fit, right? Because we spent a lot of time on building the right product, the right technology, the right pricing, right? And hats off to Yogesh obviously on this one, that he's been able to kind of drive this. And when it came to distribution, right, I think that PMF moment said that, this is working, right? It came at a time when we started getting referrals, right? Where people started telling us that, what, I have, referred OnSurety to about 5 or 6 people. And those 5 or 6 people whom they were referred, whom we were referred to, they had the smallest, sales cycle, right? And I think this is the fastest that we could possibly do, right? Where people have got referred, they've come out to the OnSurety platform, and they have purchased the healthcare membership without any assistance, right?
Wow.
And when you see that, right, you know that you built possibly the product in the right direction, because this when you talk only about health insurance, right, it has been a journey where people take about almost 30 to 45 days to purchase a product, get people enrolled. And for us, it was amazing seeing that our vision is actually somewhere down the line coming true, because we could see people just doing it within 2 minutes.
Very, very powerful. So in a way, what I'm taking from your answer is that, once when NPS is super high because the referrals are driving in, you do not have to spend on marketing. People come in themselves. And third, it goes into a self-serve motion. Like, people are asking for the product rather than you having to push for a product. Even in a product like insurance, which has traditionally been a push product, then you can absolutely slam dunk say that it's hit the PMF.
And you know what? I actually want to put one more point out here, right? Had it been only insurance, right, I think it would have taken a much longer time. Our combined offering, right, actually something that SMEs have really liked is because a lot of time SMEs, and I think Yogesh can possibly add more to this, that SMEs always look for products when it comes to insurance where there's some kind of money back kind of a thing, right? But I think our healthcare approach, made people realize that, yes, we can drive savings from day one, right? And I think that has something, our comprehensive healthcare kind of an approach has actually helped us, while obviously insurance continues to become a key anchor feature. But I think our overall comprehensive, and being obviously India's first monthly, healthcare subscription platform, these two things, I think combined, helped us a lot to, get the initial product market fit.
Very, very nice, very nice. Because so the other point that I'm hearing from you is that in today's consumer, instant gratification is something which you have to make a part of the product. So whichever product you are making, you should look into the instant. Very interesting. In that, changing a little bit of gear and moving to Yogesh. Yogesh, the question that I wanted to, and this is very time appropriate, that we have been going through this pandemic, and nobody would have thought in March when we were beating our thalis to support the entire system that this pandemic will last for this long. But how has the experience been in building a team which has been at time mostly remote, at a growth phase, hiring people, maintaining the culture? Any thought first from you, Yogesh, and then maybe with Hulin also? How did you do and how did you manage it? Yogesh, you are on mute.
So basically, in terms of, I would say, yes, the pandemic has helped us to do our product market fit quickly. But yes, the building the right team and all through remotely. And given that before the lockdown, we were just like a 15 team member. On the day when we left for lockdown, we were just like 15 team member. We are almost like 100 plus team members now, and growing from like 15 to 100 is definitely where we had really focused a lot on the communication, in effectively trying to over communicate to most of our team members, and effectively making them understand that what we really inspire to do, what is our vision. For understanding of the vision, what the company is having or what the organization is having, it then start becoming easier in order to motivate them and in order to steer them into the towards the goals what we are having it around. So that is one part. And again, when we were hiring, we were focusing more towards how we can easily get like a strong references or strong background checks of the team members, because any which way a 30-minute or a 15-minute Zoom call or a video call to understand the particular team member and how they will fit well into the overall org thing is something seems to be difficult. So we try to solve it out by how we can exactly go through the strong background checks or take the reference from the team member from their ex-employees. So that is what we had done that, which actually helped us to build a very strong team.
Got it. And Kulin, what about you? Because I think Yogesh was taking care of the product and the tech and all that sort of thing. You were building a BD team, which is generally an outgoing team. So how has the experience been for you?
So the building the business development of the partnerships team was the easiest because we still have a very, very lean team. I think our, just at the cost of, repeating myself, but our product market fit and our referrals were so good that we didn't really have to, go aggressively out there and sell, right? That's why we don't call ourselves sales team at all, right? Okay. We are a business development team. We go out there, solve a problem for our customer, right? I think a few of the things, right, just to add to what Yogesh said, I think for the first, 75 or 80 team members, and today also for some of the team members, every person has spoken to either Yogesh or me, right? To the extent that, when we were building our customer experience, or, like the industry knows that as a customer support team, right? We've also spoken to, people who are coming in at an entry level, right? Where, people have asked Yogesh or me saying that we have never seen, the founders of the company talk to, folks like us, right? And I'm like, I was not sure, how to answer that. But I said, listen, we want to handpick our team, right? And hence we have actually invested time, right? Requested people to take calls at about 9:30 in the night or 10 o'clock in the night. We've done interviews at all odd hours and over the weekends, but we've handpicked people, right? Because it was very important that, especially in a pandemic where people are working remotely, right? Cultural fit becomes the most important thing, right? Because that will define, right? Of course, while founders would like to make everything sound very, hunky-dory or, very fancy, but we faced our own set of challenges while building a team remotely, keeping the team motivated, going that extra mile and over communicating, like Yogesh said, right? Trying to create that bond, right? Where, because I think that's what the whole initial team is about, right? That the bond that you're able to create, right? And helping them to meet their aspirations while building the company was the most important thing, right? And one of the things that we have been very, very, serious about, and we continue to do that, is how to give more responsibilities to people who come on board, so that, they feel that they are growing and they are learning every day something new, right? So that has always been an approach that we've taken. And we always want to drive growth internally, right? We don't believe, like a lot of companies, that, just keep adding a top layer, right? We want people to come, deliver, grow, and, keep growing. And hopefully, we don't have to hire someone from the outside world unless required. So that has been a thought process that we followed. And I think that's what also keeps the team motivated, that yes, there's a great opportunity to grow at OnSurety.
So that's very, very important, like motivation to grow. But if I were to ask you to define the DNA of OnSurety in one line, Kulin, why don't you go first and we'll come to Yogesh? How will you define the DNA? What do you want an ideal OnSurety to be, if I were to call that?
It's very simple for us, and I didn't take a sentence, and I think Yogesh will agree. Customer first. That's it. That is the DNA of the company, right? Yogesh, why don't you add to this? Yeah. I add only 2 words: customer experience.
Yogesh, you are again on mute. You will have to remove mute. Yeah.
I was telling customer centric, but Kulin, you have mentioned customer first. So yeah, it should be like a customer centric, starting from what customer needs and basically design. So that actually makes sure that the product, what we are designing it around, on the designing phase to like the execution phase, and then completely selling the right product, also understanding the right requirement of the customer to like then servicing the customer. So effectively everything as a business, I know it sounds very traditional, not very fancy, but yeah, it's always like a customer centric approach, because at the end of the day, that it's the customer who is passionating every onshore in what we would say. And this is where, if someone has that kind of a DNA, definitely onshority will be a very great place for him or her to have it.
Yeah. So actually coming to an interesting point from there, your customer centricity sort of probably reflects in the fact that bunch of your customers moved on to become your angels. Like there is there is no bigger proof of the pudding than people actually putting in money, and then no better proof of a satisfied customer. So how did that happen? If you want to touch upon uh, any insights from that, like on how your customers turned into your angels? And you probably have the broadest and the deepest angel pool in the startup ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been a very interesting one, and we never expected this to happen. And to be very honest, having been in the startup space for the last, decade or more, I haven't seen too many places where, customers turn angels, but angels have definitely turned customers, right? In our case, it was, fairly opposite. And I think stems from two things, right? One is that, we have been able to kind of, drive a great customer experience, right? And when we have kind of explained our models, we never explained it to the founders, right? We always explained it to their HR teams, or possibly people on the operations side, saying, okay, this is what our product is. And I think when an team member comes and tells the founder, know what, this is a really good product, right? Like, and then once we started kind of helping with claims, right, and the experience was again seamless, right? And the entire I think more than both of us, I think it is our team who has converted customers into investors, because they've been pitching to these people. And and we don't say that, what, oh, if it's an X company, I have to pitch better, and if it's a Y company, I'll pitch lesser, right? I think our passion is there equally for everyone. And I think that our technology, our entire business model, and our way of kind of driving consumer experience, I think got the conversation started with a lot of founders saying, okay, now tell me, what are you guys building, right? Like, we are already your customers. We've seen your entire journey, right, from onboarding to the mobile app to the dashboards that you guys have built, right? We think that something interesting is going on. And these are obviously founders for whom we have a lot of respect. These are serial entrepreneurs. Includes guys like Revant and Dhyanesh of Mosaic Wellness, Jitendra Gupta of Jupiter. And all of these guys have seen the entire space, right, at the end of the day, right? Like, they are not someone whose teams would have just seen onshority. They've seen the entire space, but they selected onshority. And I think that was the biggest, I think that was the biggest game changer for us. And, these guys came and said, we want to support onshority and we want to be a part of this. And, we were more than happy to kind of have these guys on board to come and, build this product with us. So yeah, Yogesh, you're on mute, but if you want to add something.
Hey, Kulin, I think you have added well.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to come to a question to Yogesh, you, and maybe Kulin, you can add on. Like many a times when we talk about startup journey, we talk about grit, right? And the importance of how you have to keep fighting on. And that's something that you two have demonstrated a lot during this 1.5 years of the journey. It's a short period. You have shown a lot of grittiness. Any advice for the young founders who might be seeing this video on a few things apart, like how to fight it on? Because startup, as all we know, entrepreneurship is not an easy journey. What keeps you motivated? What kept you motivated through this journey of the last 1.5, 2 years? And what keeps you motivated for the future? And any other insights that you want to share from your journey thus far, and your obviously the experience from before, which could help them. Yogesh, you want to go first? I'm going to put you on the anvil.
So basically, for any young entrepreneur, see, this is a very, I personally find it out, this is a very uphill journey for everyone. And I guess all the founders will have the same kind of an experience. The journey over here is not smooth. It's every day you need to fight, or there is one battle to fight every day. So I think, but the best part in order to overcome this around or how to solve this is just one thing. It's the quality of the team and how much you can depend on them and how much you can keep them motivated in order for them to take those battles for you or for the organization. So effectively, if you really want to develop a successful startup, I think it's very, very important to have the right team. And this is so basically a startup or a young entrepreneur, I mean, basically given that I am the first time kind of entrepreneur. So basically before starting Onsurity, I was always having a mindset, okay, I have this kind of a skill set, but what about to get a complete complementary skill? That's how I can try to convince Kulin to come as a co-founder. And again, we keep on identifying what are the gaps in our current team and or what are our vision and what is the kind of the team that we would be requiring for, and just to get the right team. And once you have that right team, that's all what you need to do it around. And all the other things like I would say the investment, the customers, the GTM or the revenue, everything will start following itself. But what is very important to get the right and then trust on them to deliver, because and this is where how the successful startups can be built. And so that is one part, means that is the number one prerequisite, I would say. And the number two is basically before venturing into any startup, just see that what would be the problem that it is going to solve for. And if it's going to solve the right problem, and basically if you can become the customer of that particular product, and then only venture into that particular product, and where you actually see the product market is very, very big, means because in order to have a very successful startups, I would say that those startups can only flourish which have like a very big TAM, because as soon as you start into there needs to be a very big market to have a right to in order to actually develop a product or develop a complete company overall surrounding that particular problem statement. So I guess these are the two prerequisites as per me for any young entrepreneur. Yeah.
Very nice. Very well covered, Yogesh. Like build a team on which you can rely so that when shit hit the fans, you are in the forefront. There are people to take care of the trenches also. So very, very strong. And of course, to believe on the product, because if you believe it, then it's easier to keep going on because you truly believe in. Awesome. So last question from our side, Kulin and Yogesh, what's next in Onsurity? What's cooking? What's coming? What, of course, you can share in a public forum. What happens from here to 5 years down the line?
So I would say that we have not even scratched the surface what the goal was and goal is for Onsurity. So we will just keep on focusing what exactly we are currently doing it around and try to go more deeper, because overall the problem statement that we are trying to solve for, it's in itself is very, very big, because at one end of the spectrum we have like SMB who are going to sponsor for their employee benefit, but at the other end we need to make it more affordable and more sustainable. And making the entire health product affordable and sustainable, you need to have like a very right infrastructure for the delivery of the healthcare services, because any which way the kind of the TAM or the market that we are having it around, it's very price sensitive. And again, they need to have like a company, or they need to work with a company, or they have to work with a company which really focus on the customers. So effectively, in order to do this, it will be again a very difficult task, because you need to be very efficient, and in order to become very efficient, you need to have like a very right technology and infrastructure which can actually serve like 63 million SMBs that are there in India, and which is having like almost like 440 million lives that are associated with those SMB businesses. So that is where what we will be focusing around, that how we can actually make our overall infrastructure and technology more efficient, so that we can reach to like this 63 million SMBs very, very quickly, and make sure that their employees and their family members are well protected and getting the right healthcare needs. Yeah. Kulin, you want to add?
Yeah, I know, Yogesh, I think that's the right thing, right? Like going deeper into the problem statement, and there are multiple places which we have realized over this 1.5 years that, there are so many pieces that are broken in this entire journey. I think fixing those things itself will fix the consumer experience. So I think, again, consumer experience will lie at the core of everything, and then going deep and deep to kind of, make sure that all of those things are being solved for. So I think that will be always the higher guiding force for us. Yeah.
No, that's super powerful. I remember some of our discussions where it has been like, like taking health insurance to already serve does not serve what OnSurety wants to become. It's when you try to reach to the SMBs, what Yogesh touched upon, and cover that 440 million lives. That's where probably OnSurety will land. Very, very powerful, Yogesh. Thank you so much, Yogesh and Kulin, for taking out the time. I am pretty sure you are making something which is very valuable, not only in terms of the valuations per se, but in terms of what India needs, in terms of covering the lives of multiple people who have over the last 2 years seen what a pandemic or a health catastrophe can do to the finances as well as the well-being of the family. So very, very stoked to be partnering with you all as Nexus, and happy to do our part in whatever we can.
And we are equally excited to have partnered with you guys, and thanks for all your support. I think we found a great partner in an investor. So yeah.
Absolutely. And especially thanks to Anand, just to believing in what we are trying to build, and just to have a kind of the same vision that we had it out at the planning stage or the conceptualization stage of OnSurety.
Absolutely our pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.